Yeah, we are welcome back again. This is BVI Channel 1, and we are still on ECOSEA. We are very sorry about that break in transmission. It is part of the things we have to pass through. You know, our systems all went down. I will have to reboot and come back again to continue on this program. In case you're just joining us, we have done the first part of this video, this live program. You can call it the first part. Now we are on the second part. It's not our making to break it into parts anyway. But in case you missed that first part, after this program, please endeavor to go back there and watch it from the beginning. Now, we are still live and direct. And those of you who are dropping your comments, we are also going to take all your comments one after the other as this program continues. Now, we are talking about why we insist on made in Igbo product. And in the first section, we are deliberating on the three fundamental human needs. Talking about health, talking about clothing, housing and food. Now, we talked about that we have enough, more than abundant, to sustain ourselves in Igboland without depending on anywhere outside Igboland. Talking about food, we have sufficient. In fact, we have land mass that is sufficient enough for us to cultivate, and our lands are very fertile. Our lands are very fertile. It's just that our people are not having that interest to invest in agriculture. Everybody wants it buying and selling, quick turnover. You know. Now, we're also talking about housing and the failure of government in providing houses, which is almost the minimum capital-intensive responsibility of government to provide houses. Okay, now government is not even providing houses. The people are now by themselves, building houses for themselves and also building for rentals. You understand? Yes, because they make people make fortune out of it. Is everywhere in the world, you know, out of unfortunate situation. But the truth of the matter is that the houses in our homeland are heavily dependent on imported products, whereas we have all it takes to build houses from scratch to finish without even leaving Igboland. We're not even talking about going abroad. Talk about iron ore, we have it here. Talk about cement, we have it here. Talk about manpower, we have it here. Talk about zinc, copper, we have it here. For electricity, we have it here. We also have engineers.
Human resource
development. We all have it in abundance. Then what is keeping us behind? Talking about clothes. You made mention of Aba is the headquarters of clothes in Africa. They make the best clothes. Talk about traditional clothes, even Western clothes, shoes, handbags, fashion. Aba is number one. Why is it our people are dependent on foreign-made products? And that is one of the cardinal ideologies that is driving this platform. To liberate Igbo land, the Biafran land, economically and politically. Very important. And you have to understand that is the reason why we are doing what we are doing. And that is the reason why you should always stick to this platform. We are not just here just to do media like every other people. No. We are here to cause a revolution, a mental revolution on our people. For them to start appreciating whom they are. Because what the West have done to black race is to make them think that they are lesser women, that they are inferior, that everything that comes from the West is superior. That is inferiority complex. And then here, a small westernization. Let me tell you, it is colonial mentality as far as I'm concerned. Our people should cultivate the habit of enjoying and appreciating whom they are, and what they represent. And that is the bedrock of every developed society. My brother, where you can do?
Yes, so somebody said something to me a few minutes ago that hardly patronize common projects. That's community projects, you know. And to him, he called it ego to onya. That everybody struggles to survive and to bring his personal family business up against collective interest. And Chida, we want us to look at this, to discuss this. Can you achieve economic freedom without political freedom.
Very difficult.
Uh,
And that is why we are carrying the two all at the same time. Although to a large extent, individuals can do their microeconomy first,
yes,
while surviving. Then we are now pursuing for political, which is the main bulk, because leadership is what drives everything.
In your opinion, don't you think that at the individual level, we are among the best in the whole Nigeria?
Of course.
At the individual level.
That is why we are still surviving.
We are the most successful ethnic group in Nigeria in terms of individual successes. Then we are at the crossroad now. How do we now translate that individual success story to collective success that will translate into political freedom of our people? That is another big question that we should.
Of course, the point is that
at individual level we have succeeded.
Of course, but collectively we have failed monumentally. No.
I say at this point we are now. We have succeeded at individual level, family level. You can testify that in all the villages, of course, you move around the Igboland, you see people building
houses,
100 million naira house inside the village, residential. In every
it doesn't have any economic value.
In every villages you move around, you see people building churches, community effort to build church.
Cathedrals. All the denomination has at least 2 or 3 cathedrals.
It is not government building it.
No.
It is at individual level. Now we have succeeded at that individual level. Now we are at the crossroad. How do we now translate that success at individual level
into a communal?
In terms of industrialized life.
No, the institution that will drive that is government. It's the instrumentality of governance that provides leadership. Leadership is not necessarily handing you over social security, but providing leadership in the sense of direction. The direction things have to go, inspiring the people.
Who is the government then?
The government is the people, but the people have failed themselves to produce the leadership.
Then what job do you have to do for that?
That is what we are doing here. To liberate our people mentally. For them to understand that them the government.
Viewers, you understand the direction now, where I'm coming from. That now we be the government. When you keep on pointing fingers at the people inside the government houses, you are chief servants, moving with mobile policemen, terrorizing you and harassing you. These are not your government. These are your servants representing you. The real government is the people, me and you. Any day we understand that fact, that the people is the true owner of the government, that day the political freedom we are talking of will happen. But right now at this level, we are talking about economic freedom. And I want to bet you an average Igbo man has succeeded economically and family level. On average, an average Igbo man, however way you look at it, is surviving and succeeding. But where you have challenge at this point is the chief servants we have in the government, presenting themselves as the masters of the people. This is what Chinedu has been doing here, to sensitize and put it to you raw and direct, that you have to understand and appreciate the power you have, and that the power you have is the power to decide and determine who goes inside the government house as your servant. And any day your servant pretends to be a master, you organize yourself.
All right, let's quickly take this call.
Yeah.
The first caller for today's program. Hello? Hello? We can't hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm just watching YouTube. I'm just watching your YouTube program in London.
Fine. You're welcome to the program. We are live and direct. You know what we are discussing?
Yes, I'm watching the one you're discussing now. Yeah, on YouTube. So this is just nice. But I'll follow you later in the evening, okay?
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I think the caller is just excited that he got us live. That is it. But we are still live. If you want to contribute on this program, please do that very quickly because this program is not going to last that long. Yes, we are talking about something before the caller came in.
Yeah, I was talking about the duty and the job you have here to do. Chinedu, I'm putting to you because I started by saying that we have found ourselves at this level where economically Igbo families and households are surviving. To a very large extent, an average Igbo man does not depend on government. They don't even know the existence of government.
True.
They don't even know who is the governor. It doesn't concern them.
It doesn't.
They don't know who is honorable members of the houses. It doesn't concern them. Their own is that, na them, I better carry your wahala, they go. Let me do my business. And that is where you have this connection. So this platform I'm putting to Chinedu that we have succeeded at micro level. Now, there is a need for us to be sensitized on the need for us to survive at the macro level, which is on the community level. Having a community project. Who handles the community project is the servants, the people who will send to represent us. And we are the government that will send them to represent us.
All right.
It's only when they get there they will organize and organize resources to represent us.
All right, now we are going to quickly bring to you a trailer of a documentary we handled for ADF, portraying those who have beaten all odds to invest in Igboland,
in our land.
I'm going to bring you a trailer of that video, and you can as well make good to watch the entire documentary on how businesses survive in Igboland, the potential of doing business in Igboland. We call it shame breakers. So that is what we're going to take very shortly, and when we come right back, we'll continue on this live broadcast. Please don't go away, don't touch that dial. We are going to bring it to you right now. Please make sure you watch it to the end. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Our land was subjected to deprivation, impoverishment, and a special type of colonization. They ensured our natural resources will never lead to industrialization of our homeland. They have laid the foundation for poverty. But we are innovative. Our passion is unbeatable. But yet, we are in chains. Our land was reduced to ashes. Our source of living was brought to nothing. The conspiracy to keep us poor have been perfected. What hope have we? Against all odds, we have emerged from our ashes. We have risen from our defeated places. Now, here is our story. The chain breakers.
Very serious, the whole idea of Angola.
Well, first of all, is the interest to remain here and do business in the Southeast.
Here in the Southeast, if you invest 40% of what you invest in Lagos, you have more results here.
The beauty of it is that he pays me in advance to make sure I have capital to do it. If I can have such opportunity more, this factory, after some time, we will be producing the issue.
Let the people outside Igboland come back home. Have faith in our people. Have good professionals that can deliver.
At some point, someone asked me to write my product made in China, made in UK, for me to sell.
Idle mind is a devil workshop.
No Igbo man that is lazy. By virtue of our birth, we have Febuary scattered across southeast.
There are people that say that the foreign rice is better than Abakaliki rice. That one is a lie.
If you have a quality material, no matter where you are, even if you are in the gold, you have customers.
Akuru is when your wealth reaches your father's land.
I wouldn't want to go to Lagos today. I wouldn't want to, even if you offered, all the big houses and things. I prefer to move.
My brother, in all odds, they say home is the best. There is no way you will run out of your home.
If we realize our dream, whether you call it Biafra, if there will be an agreement or movement of goods and people.
Our case in ABM, our time has come to be able to lead Igbo to redevelop Igbo.
So it is the passion and determination of ABM to help mobilize Igbo ingenuity. How do we begin to lessen the stranglehold of our businessmen? What Amos is going through, what Chikasi is going through, what Unaj is going through, what Ibeto is going through, and so on and so forth. How do we do that? Now the government of the day at the center is determined to squeeze a good life of the Igbo nation.
Igbo Development Foundation, in pursuit of economic freedom of Igboland with the spirit of our colonial. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we
That is the opposition that rejected that offer from the governor, insisting that the governor wants to give them their own entitlement, that he has to go and visit innocent bottle plant and get it from there. So but the bottom line there is that some people who have been following us and some people who have got the message that we need to patronize goods produced in our label are thinking likewise, are thinking towards that direction, are thinking towards that direction in terms of patronizing goods made in Igboland. And that is why few members of House of Assembly in Anambra State came together and said over their dead body, if it is not innocent, it is not innocent.
And you give credit to BVI Channel 1.
Yes, that is what
what we are trying to do so far so here. Because I first of all want to appreciate Abraham Okechukwu, who reminded us, and our technical people are taking care of that, about the sound. Because when we went to commercial, the whole sound was shut down. So they prompted us and we have to intimate them. Thank you, Abraham. You see, you are part of what we are doing here.
Yeah.
Thank you for that commentary. We keep asking people to keep bringing up these commentaries. Thank you very much. And what we're saying so far is that the need for us, it is the message that we are preaching here that provoked what is happening in the Anambra State political gallery, where legislators, whether you call it rumor, whether you call it propaganda, whether true or not, but there is element of truth in it.
Of course.
Now, that they have to. Why will you? I asked that question again. I was saying that, in fact, that was exactly what I was saying when the mic was off. I was saying that, how can you have a sweet orange, fruits in your compound, well wrapped, ready to take? You now leave it and travel all the way to market to buy the same fruits. Is that not madness? Whereas you have vehicles that have been produced in Igboland here, employing Igbo people, employing our youths, keeping them out from crimes, and some of them from traveling to be enslaved in some part of the countries where they trek through the desert. And the least government can do is to patronize it. But would they do that? No. They will travel all the way to London, America, even India to buy these vehicles. Is that not madness?
It's because you have masters there instead of servants.
That is why we are provoking mental revolution for the people to rise.
Very simple.
We want to place a ban on every governor of the southeast from acquiring vehicles outside Igbo land. Innocent, you no pay me, oh. All of you no pay me.
Nothing.
But I am doing this for posterity's sake. Because the people where they go employ there, fee be my cousins, fee be my brothers, fee be my sisters, fee be my friends.
They will spend the money here.
And they will spend the money, and if they don't get employment, they will be wahala for my head.
Let me also say this now, that even the Chinese we are talking about, some people are celebrating them, that embassy is coming here, they are all coming here. There was a time when China has to close their economy and say they will not die if their importation is shut down. Over the years, they announced it that they will not interact with any foreign goods, that they must produce everything within China. And today, China is a superpower. And thereafter, their currency was devalued so as to make their goods
to compete very well in international trade.
To make their goods cheaper at the international market. These are simple village economies. That is why I said I prefer to be called village economies, because I'm quite disappointed with the class or the quality of education we are getting in Nigeria. When you have people with different PhDs and master's degree in different fields. One person have 7 degrees, 8 degrees, yet there is no access road in his village. Which kind of title are you securing? Which kind of engineering PhD you are getting? What, you have a governor in Aba, somebody is saying in Aba there is no road there. And for the past 18, 20 years, we have democracy in Nigeria. You've had Oju Zokaro, you've had Yodoji, you are having ECOSEA now. You have billions of naira being spent. And people are every day shouting, we don't have good roads. Millions of youths in Aba are jobless. Do you know what it will take governor to do? Do you know governor can decide overnight and say, I am declaring state of emergency on road construction. What it will take him is just to go to street and hire direct level.
All right, let's take this call. Let's take this call quickly. Hello.
How do people get angry over all these things?
Abraham is calling from Sweden.
Okay, Abraham, thank you very much. In fact, it's the same Abraham, the father of all nations, that just saved BVI from the audio embarrassment, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Fire on with your submission.
I want to contribute something, because, I had something that I produced in Aba. I'm from Aba. I'm a native of Aba anyway. So, but this thing, after producing it, I contacted people from Akwa Ibom, Port Harcourt, Calabar to come and, so that they will come and buy it up from me. Can you imagine, because of bad roads, those people, all of them, the excuse they get is bad roads. They can never come that place because of bad roads.
And you have governor in Abia State.
And your people are not angry at all.
And the people are not angry enough.
They are not provoked at all. They will go and collect 2,000 naira to vote everybody.
If there is a very good road, it will be easier for people to making use of what you produce and eat also. So government need to work in such a thing. So that is my contribution, and I am happy for what you are doing.
Thank you very much.
Anytime I want opportunity to support you, I will do.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your contribution.
Okay.
You see it? People are not angry enough.
Not at all.
Because if people are hungry enough, hey, by now,
people understand the kind of Biafra, like personally as an economist, village economist, that we already have Biafra.
We already in Biafra land.
We are in Biafra land. The ECOSEA is not an Hausa man. So why should ECOSEA be allowed to be the governor of a Biafra state?
Well, who
imported him there? Is he not our brothers and sisters? How many Fulanis do we have in Aba or Abia State? So when people talk about this thing, I said, if like just Biafran people can mobilize 1 million votes, they can make me governor of Abia.